A few weeks ago, I went to City Hall and stopped in the City Hall press room. And what I noticed, and with talking to a lot of the reporters there, is that it used to be a lot more crowded. There used to be more reporters in City Hall scrutinizing every aspect of city policy, from the fire department to the road repair to public health. And in this season of unprecedented cutbacks in the city budget, we're getting a much less complete picture than we might have gotten if there were 10, 20 reporters covering City Hall every day. On a good day, there are 5. And that's not enough to cover a city the size and complexity of San Francisco.
We're saying no more budget. No budget priority. It's no longer a budget priority to resurface our streets. All the budget priorities we have in our budget come first. Street resurfacing is going to only be borne by property taxpayers. I refuse to accept that. I don't believe voters of San Francisco will accept the fact that street resurfacing no longer fits in our budget.
I think the idea is we have sort of a socially conscious theme to the stories that we write, and that we want the stories that we're publishing, that we're reporting on, to be serving the conversation in the public. The way that this budget season policy has come down is we have a progressive board of supervisors that has entrenched themselves with health organizations, with social service organizations, with largely activist communities in the city, and the mayor, which has aligned himself with public safety with extremely powerful police, fire, and sheriff unions, and that's really how the political debate has been staked out. And both organizations have both sides of the debate have different ways of lobbying government. The progressive organizations, it's mainly direct action, protests, getting a lot of people out at City Hall every day saying, look, we don't agree with the way that this budget is being cut. And the fire department, the police department, they have the more traditional moneyed power to work kind of behind the scenes doing political lobbying that smaller community organizations don't have just the financial capability of doing. So it's sort of interesting to see how the different groups are influencing the policy debate, because I wouldn't say that one has been more necessarily effective than the other. It's just different, and
it's a best practice of capital financing to match the life of financing to the life of the asset, and we're doing that as a part of this bond.
The great conversation in the background is that we're going to have this massive amount of state cuts that come down after we've been through this ragged, tough fight just on a city level. So it's really extremely frustrating to know that after we're done with this bare-knuckled brawl in San Francisco city politics and city budget cuts, that there's going to be a whole new mess of cuts that come down from the state level. So I think that's the giant elephant in the back of everybody's mind, is that there's going to be a lot more services that are cut by the end.
And what's missing is that, believe it or not, the mainstream media doesn't frame the issue in any way to advantage the little guy. Shocker.
Yeah.
That's why there's a public press, right?